We're broadcasting. Yay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So it says to determine the correct sampling method for each scenario. So a medical student researches the prevalence of aspirin usage by questioning all of the patients who enter her clinic for treatment. What'd you get for that one?
I'm saying cluster, but
Yeah.
then I also thought maybe a simple random sample.
I was thinking I'm not sure because I think it's convenience because she's not going anywhere. She's not using any kind of method to sample. It's just the people that are coming in. She's getting everybody. Well, then again,
Okay.
let me look at my notes here. It could be either one, actually. Yeah, that was because my first thought was it was.
Okay.
Let me look at my notes here. It could be either one, actually. Notes here. It could be either one, actually.
Oh, that's weird. All that back.
That was because my first thought was it was.
Okay. I gotta close that. Because it was picking it up on my computer. It was picking it up on my computer and then on my phone.
Oh.
So I closed off the computer. Okay.
Okay.
So the one place I watched where it talked about convenience sample, it was saying where like you have the person that's in the mall and they say, oh, will you be willing to come over and try this new product I have?
Yeah.
For this one, they're going to get every single patient who's coming there to get aspirin. So it's not really convenient.
At the same time, though, she's working in a medical clinic and she's talking about a medication, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not a random population. It's not a random anything. They're the people that are coming to the clinic. Who's coming to the clinic? Usually people that aren't feeling well.
Yeah. Okay. So not a simple thing. So, but a cluster is let's be sampled, enlarged in order to draw a reasonable audit.
Yeah, I don't know either. This is bugging me. You'd think this was easy. It's probably a simple, straightforward answer. Now we're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so cluster convenience.
Let me see here if it's convenient sampling. I just looked at the answer on the thing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I pulled it up. I didn't look at it before now, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should just look it up.
No.
I'm like, we have answers. Let's look them up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, convenience because she's not doing any work. She's not doing any sampling. She's just asking everybody that came in where she is. She didn't do anything to correct. There's no format to her sample.
Okay.
So sample is convenience. Okay, so B, the Colorado Department of Health. For B, see, 2 million. I got systemic. Systematic.
That's what I have also.
Apparently, I'm writing in abbreviations now. Yeah, systematic. What'd you get for C?
For C, I got simple random sample.
Okay. Yep, that's what I got.
They were talking about the Gallup poll, like when they call. Because there's a Gallup poll, like when they call on the phone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they call on the phone, but this one it says the computer randomly generates the group you're calling, so that makes it a simple random sample. It just randomly. It's like pulling them out of a hat, just like the sample, like the.
Okay.
So yeah. What about for D? I got stratified.
And this is where I did the first part of it, but that's kind of like where I stopped for as far as so stratified.
Where you divide the population into groups and then do a simple random sample of each group.
Yes. Okay.
Which is what it sounds like she did. She divided them into age brackets and then did simple random sample of each group.
Okay. Yeah.
For E, what do you have for E? Or you said you didn't finish these?
That would be all cardiac patients, 30 randomly selected hospitals. So it would either be cluster or simple.
I said it's cluster because there's all the different hospitals. They randomly selected a few and did everybody within those,
Okay.
within that hospital
Okay.
for all the cardiac patients. So yeah, I did cluster for that one. I can look and see what the answer is.
So, but random is 1 to 2,000. Okay.
Yeah, this one it said cluster on the answer.
For the okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
The Medical Association wanted to determine general patient satisfaction with the primary care physician, determining the type of sampling method used in the following scenarios. They take a simple random sample of doctors and then sample all of the patients that the doctor works with.
That would be cluster.
Oh.
Okay. Because it's just like with the hospitals, they randomly selected the doctors and then they sampled all of the patients the doctor works with. So everyone within, like they said, there's all these doctors. We're going to, randomly choose these 5 doctors and interview everybody that they work with.
Okay.
So they randomly chose the group and then they tested everybody within the group.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what I got. Okay. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So, but then the next one would be simple random sampling, because they put them all like in a hat, and I think didn't it talk about that kind of thing being like putting it in a hat?
Yeah, it's a random. It's computer generated. It's just random.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime I see something like that,
for that one.
Yeah, it's a simple random sample.
Okay.
And then for C, says divide the residents by gender. Do a simple random sample of residents within each gender. I think I put stratified on that one.
Yeah, because the stratified is where you divide them up into groups, and then you take a little bit out of each group. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Okay. For D, they randomly pick key intersections in the city and then picking every 5th person that walks by after randomly picking one of the first 5 people to be the sample.
That would be a systematic.
With Okay. Then for number 8, determine for each scenario whether it is an observational study or an experimental design. If it's experimental, determine the response, treatment, and subjects. For A, Center Disease Control obtains current flu data by randomly polling 300 men and 300 women. That's observational. They didn't do anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Interviewed them.
And then you plan to conduct an experiment to test the effectiveness of sleepies, a new drug that's supposed to reduce insomnia. So you divide 1,000 patients into 2 groups, where half get sleepies and the other get the placebo. So that would be the experimental.
It's definitely experimental. So we need to do the response.
Oh, I missed that.
Subjects and the treatment. So the treatment, they said that half of them are getting the sleepies and half are getting the placebo. The subject is there are 1,000 patients with insomnia.
Okay.
And the response variable is the number of hours of sleep that they get. Like, so how well it works.
Okay.
I keep clicking back and forth between our cameras because my mouse is over the cameras.
Oh.
So I'm like, wait.
So we need to do that though for no, only if it's an experimental design. We have to do that.
Only experimental, not for the observational.
Okay. So in September 2004, Newcrest Pharmaceuticals announced the result of its first human trial, a topical form of its skin ointment, and a total of 224 patients diagnosed with skin irritations were randomly divided into 3 groups as part of a double-blind placebo control to test the effectiveness of the new topical cream. The first group received 5% cream, the second group received 1% cream, and the third group received a placebo. Groups were treated twice daily, and then the degree of skin irritation was recorded. So this was an experimental, I would say.
Yep, definitely design experimental. And then it's, see, for the subjects were the 224 patients with skin conditions.
Okay. Yep. And then the response variable, the experiment. Oh, I got to look up I forgot what response variable is.
Response, that's what you're measuring, the change.
So whether the rash got better or not. Did the patients have? Yeah.
It's the degree of irritation.
Okay.
Yeah, it talks about, yeah, so they'll treat it twice a week daily for a 6-week period, and the degree of skin irritation was recorded. So they're recording the degree of skin irritation, so the change in their skin.
And what are the treatments? So whether the cream was effective in reducing the.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was double blind with placebo, so they don't know which group's getting which. It's group 1 got the 0.5% cream, group 2 got a 1% cream, and group 3 got the placebo.
Okay.
So that's what I got.
Okay.
How about you? Sound good?
So because I only did the first part and then I stopped where it said, work on this together. So
Yeah.
next time I'll come more prepared.
No, I think we were supposed to do it together. I just happened to do it ahead of time because I was still doing it. I just kind of kept working. I just get like that sometimes. I forget to stop when I'm supposed to and keep doing it.
Okay, so the treatments are the ones who had a placebo, so nothing, and the 5% and the 1%.
Yes. So there's
those are the
the 3 different groups. There's 3 different treatments. The one got the 0.5%, one got the 1%, one got the placebo.
Okay.
And then they compared each group.
Okay.
At the end. Okay. You feel good about it? You want to do the quiz?
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do it. I've got my notes here all spread out. Okay.
Well, you have to pull up your quiz too so that you can do it. So. I didn't realize we weren't supposed to do the other part. I thought we were supposed to do the whole thing.
Oh, that's, I probably should have kind of looked at it.
It's fine. I don't know that it really matters. I think we're supposed to do that part together. Okay. So.
Okay, so I'm almost here.
All right.
Let's see. Okay, so. All right. So which of the following variables are quantitative? So the number of people in a randomly selected classroom on campus, I would say yes.
Wait, whoa. What are you looking at?
Oh, the quiz.
Okay, open the quiz for lesson 2. And that's not what my questions say. Which one are you on?
That was the question, the quantitative. So I'm in lesson 2, the statistical process, and then, maybe are you in the group collaboration?
I'm in the group meeting.
Oh,
group meeting quiz.
No, it won't let me get out of this because I started this. So let me see if I can open it.
Don't close it in case you're in the quiz and your quiz is just in a different format than mine.
So, because I was in homework and then the quiz that was at the bottom of the homework.
Oh, you're doing the homework quiz?
Yeah.
Leave that open. Open a new window so you don't exit out of it.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm working on. It wouldn't let me go out of it anyway. So
it may not let you. Okay, well, I'll read you the questions and you can write down what you want there for the answers. Then you can go back and do it because apparently that's not how we're in the group meeting for lesson 2. The homework is by yourself. So that's your homework quiz that you'll do by yourself. Okay, so the first question, I completed the individual preparation. The second question is I actively participated. The third question is researchers would like to determine if reviewing material consistently within an hour after class helps students perform better on exams than if students wait to review material the day before the exam. The answer to this question, the researchers are trying to determine if an observational study or an experiment would be more appropriate. They are discussing who the population would be and how they will determine which sampling best represent the population. Which of the 5 steps of the statistical process are the researchers currently applying?
Okay. So, and I got it up. So here, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I say they're designing the study.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. A researcher has collected the survey results where participants asked how much TV they watched. Tallies the frequencies for each, computes the number of hours watched. She then creates a histogram to help illustrate the overall distribution. Which of these 5 steps of the statistical process did the research apply? I would say collect data.
Well, she collected it already, but she's creating the histogram, so she's describing the data. She's actually putting it into graphs, putting it into.
Okay, you're right in that last sentence.
Because she's actually taking it, she's tallied it all. She's not just collected it; she's actually doing something with the material.
Okay.
So she's describing it. She hasn't made any assumptions from it or inferences. She's just collecting it.
Okay.
Okay. Number 5, Mumbai, India is a quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well as the global economy. A marketing research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would, that's how you say that, right? would support this.
So, yeah.
From a list of all registered taxpayers, 3,000 names are randomly selected. Each individual on the list is mailed a brief questionnaire. The researchers receive 1,049 responses. The population is determined.
The 3,000.
From a list of all registered taxpayers, 3,000 names are randomly selected.
So the 3,000 names. Yeah, I'm going between the back and forth between the first 2, so it's the 3,000.
Hold on. Oh yeah, 3,000. My bad. I'm thinking population in a different respect is like how many people are there, not the randomly selected. Population in statistics is different than population generally. My brain went to the wrong place.
So, yeah, I would say, and I thought I put a note about that, but I would say the people who were, that's hard. The ones that were mailed the questionnaires are the ones who answered.
It's the ones who answered, because that's the only data you can use.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth between the 2, but that seems like more sense because that's the only information you can use.
Yeah, you can't draw any statistical data from the people who didn't respond. It would be different if it was about, because if you could count that as a, well, technically, maybe it is a 3,000.
I'm going to quick get my charger because my phone's going to die. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. So I thought I put something in my notes about population, but I'm trying to find it and I cannot.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay, you probably can't see me now. Let's say the people that answered, because I think,
Yeah.
You're right. It's, that.
Because you can't really do anything with the people that you have no response. Does that mean they support or don't support?
Right.
Yeah, so.
Let's see. The second one. Okay.
So it's the 1,049.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do number 6?
Okay. Mumbai, India is quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well as the global economy. A marketing research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would support this fast food business.
Can we just do this one?
It seems like it's the same.
It's the exact same question.
What's the last thing? Oh no, now it's asking what the sample is. Oh,
yeah.
so maybe the population is 3,000 and the sample is.
There you go. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
See, they just helped us answer the question. Thank you for doing that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Studies have shown that retention of classroom materials can drop as low as 58% within 15 minutes of class and within 44% after the first hour of class. This forgetting curve continues so that within 6 days, only 25% is remembered. How can a student conquer this forgetting curve? The researchers in this study claim that constant review is important. Suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invited you to participate in a study where you were asked to review specific material 15 minutes after class for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes, and then again 2 days after class for 10 minutes. Your teacher then gives you a short 10-question quiz where your score out of 10 is recorded. What type of data is your teacher collecting?
I would say categorical.
Well, but you're getting it's about how high your score is.
So you can multiply that?
Which is a measurable number. They can take these ones, they did the studying and they got 10 out of 10. These ones did the studying and they got 8 out of 10. These ones didn't study and they got a 6 out of 10. The number, so what the data that they're collecting at the end, the score is a score. It can change depending on the studying they did.
And it can be multiplied and, okay. All right.
Does that make sense? Do you think?
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what they had said in the thing. If it's quantitative, you can multiply it and get a,
you can manipulate it. So yeah. So I think I think it's quantitative because it's, sorry, there's something stuck under my chair and I can't move it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that would be my take on it.
Okay, so studies have shown that retention of classroom materials can drop as low as 58% within 15 minutes of class and within 44% after the first hour of class. This forgetting curves continues so that within 6 days, only 25% is remembered. How can a student conquer this forgetting curve? The researchers in this study claim that constant review is important. Suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invited you to participate in a study where you were asked to review specific material 15 minutes after class for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes, and then again 2 days after class for 10 minutes. After the 6th day, your teacher asks you if you feel confident that you have retained at least 50% of the material. He then records your response as yes or no or not sure. So that would be categorical.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't do anything with it. It's yes, no, or maybe.
Can't multiply it, can't divide it. Okay.
Okay. Studies have shown that same question. What are the questions they're asking us? Your teacher also selects a group to give no review to the material over the 6 days. This group is called the control group. Wouldn't they be the control group? Because they're not doing anything. They're not changing. They're not applying the experiment.
But they're not
They're not being changed. Well, no review.
Well, but they're also not going to, because you still would want your control group. Oh.
The control group you don't do anything with. You just let them do their thing. I think it may be the population.
Because I'm just thinking about how do you test them to know whether, so you would just give them the test like at the last.
Well, no, you know what?
Explaining. but I see what you mean.
I'm thinking the control group because they're not having them do, like the teacher is saying, okay, you guys do this, you guys don't. Status quo, let's see what the difference is between you and you. This is with one extreme, this is with the ones that don't do it.
So how do you compare your control group against your treatment group if you don't test them?
It doesn't say anything about it. Just says don't give any review to the material.
Oh, okay. Okay. Control group.
So the control group, because they're not giving them. Yeah, they're still. It doesn't say anything about whether. I'm guessing they're going to test them. Otherwise, what's the point? But you know what I'm saying? If she's asking, you guys don't. You guys do this. You guys don't do this, and let's see how the data compares. Let's see which one. See if this works.
Okay.
So.
All right, so which of the following would be considered an experimental design? A telephone poll asking people whether or not they vaccinate their children, administering the tuberculosis vaccine to one group and giving a placebo to another, a census, a mailed survey asking people whether or not they received the tuberculosis vaccine. I would say the second one.
Administering. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Number 11. In a study to determine the average wage of working people in Mumbai, which of the following would be the best sample? Every 10th worker that you meet as you travel the streets, all the workers in one working district, many randomly selected workers in each of several working districts, or all the female workers. I'm saying many randomly selected.
That's what I would say also.
Would be my guess.
You want to become the next Jonas Salk and produce a vaccine that will help cure the children of respiratory syncytial virus. You test the vaccine, RSV, yeah. You test the vaccine and compare it to a placebo and randomly choose one group of children to take the vaccine and one group to take the placebo. What or who are the experimental units or subjects? So I would say the children.
The children. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the children are taking it. Okay, you want to become the next Jonas Salk. Okay, same question, except what are the treatments? The treatments are the vaccine and placebo.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. In 1992, the U.S. government supported a study that was run for 15 years where 4,608 low-income families were given a chance to move to less impoverished areas. They distributed vouchers and provided various support systems. The researchers wanted to determine if getting people out of poor neighborhoods would reduce the poverty level of U.S. citizens. The low-income families were randomly assigned to one of the following groups. The MTO Low Poverty Voucher, which receives Section 8 certificates or vouchers usable only in low poverty areas within less than 10% of the population below the poverty line in 1990, along with counseling assistance in finding a private unit to lease. The traditional voucher group, which received regular Section 8 certificates or vouchers geographically unrestricted, and ordinary briefings and assistance from the PHAs, local public housing authorities. The control group, which received no certificates or vouchers but remained eligible for public or project-based housing and other programs to which families would otherwise be entitled. This study was I would say an experiment.
Yeah, because they have groups that they actually did something to.
Yeah.
Okay. If a p-value of 0.0002 was found for the study described above, then we could say that there is a 0.0002 probability of obtaining the actual observed result for one or more extreme, assuming the null is true. Okay, when you get in, I don't know. I forgot what the p-value stuff was. Hold on.
The p-value is, okay, if the p-value is low, the null hypothesis is rejected. If the probability is large, the null hypothesis is not rejected. That's what I had written in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
In a hypothesis test, it is the null hypothesis that is considered true. Probability is called p-value.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a pretty low p-value.
Yeah, so I would say that we if it's low, then the null hypothesis is rejected. Is that the question?
It says, and the null is, assuming the null is true.
Okay. So then we would say false, because we would reject that because it's pretty low. You agree with that?
I'm still trying to remember the p-value stuff.
Okay. So a null hypothesis is a statement that represents the status quo. So they gave the examples. Okay, so like with the vaccine, the polio vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
so they got a large number of difference, right?
Yeah.
So, and the null hypothesis was it doesn't matter whether you have the vaccine or not, it's not going to affect the whether you get the polio or not. But the alternative hypothesis is, right, that if you get the vaccine, you'll have a lower chance of getting polio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you?
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't make any notes about whether it was low or high.
No.
So I'm like, I only have a definition and I don't know.
So I am going to go with the assuming that the null. I'm going to say false on 15.
Okay, well, let's look at 16. It talks about p-value some more.
What's that? Oh, you're going to look at p-value.
Let's look at 16. I'm not going to go get any other. Let's look at 16 and see what it says, and then we can go back and look at 15.
Okay. Okay. Since the p-value is low in 15, the researchers could conclude that the results are significant in providing low-income families with an opportunity to move away from low-income neighborhoods. Does not make a difference in poverty levels.
Does make a difference.
Yeah. So, okay, so it does make a difference. So because it's low, the null hypothesis is rejected. Right, and the null hypothesis would be in here that it doesn't make it. I'm making myself all backwards, but
I know, that's the thing. It's like the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, what? No, where am I going to go?
I'm pretty sure 15 that it would be false, but I've got myself all mixed up now on 16.
Yeah.
Is it significant? I'm going to say false on 2. Because if the p-value is low, we're going to accept the alternative hypothesis.
Okay.
I can't remember where I saw that because
I know, that's just it. I'm like, all of a sudden I'm going, wait, what?
I think it was in that the PowerPoint presentation, because that's what I watched last.
I watched it too, and now I'm trying to think, why didn't I make more notes of what he said? So basically what we're getting is if the p-value is low, that our data is not likely with a true null.
If the p-value is low, whatever, because the null hypothesis is the status quo. So if it's low,
So
then
it's
the status quo is rejected.
Okay. So if it's low, okay, so 15 is false because the null.
Oh goodness, I hope I'm right. But I'm pretty sure that's where I got that information because it was something I had written after, I'd making my notes about the other thing that I watched and read, and then I watched that, and because I wrote that in the top margin of my paper.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm. Okay. So
Want a little bit more?
So a low probability means it's unlikely that your original hypothesis is true. Different verbiage. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
You have a low probability, then it's not very likely that your original hypothesis, the null, is true. It's not likely because the probability is very low.
Yes.
Working out. So it's low, so that makes it not likely. So 15 is false. Since it's low, you can't conclude that because they gave them all the opportunities and it was a low probability that it would change. Does that make sense? So they're both false?
So yeah, that's what I would say. Both false. Okay, so it says your partner's answer on this one, match the following. Your partner's answers will likely be different from yours because of the order matching options will vary from quiz to quiz. So, but design the study is first.
Daniel.
Okay, and then truth is
can. No, see, mine aren't in order, so I can't see what it is. That's going to be the third one. Where's 3? It's the
5.
The fourth one. Okay, design, collect. So Daniel can discern more truth. Okay. So design the study is 1.
Yes.
Collect the data is 2.
Collected data 2. Okay.
Describe the data is 3.
Yes.
Make inferences is 4.
Yes.
And where'd it go?
Action is 5.
Take action is 5. See, mine are like not anywhere close to order. So
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, where'd it go?
Okay.
Because the first column's not in order, the second column's not in order. So I had to like figure out which one's matched.
No, they could have put one of them in order for us.
Seriously.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to hit submit.
I am too. You ready?
Yep.
Oh, we missed one.
Oh, no. Oh, number 5.
We missed 2. We missed 3. 15 and 16 were both true.
Oh, gosh.
Low, when it's a low change, then I guess it is likely. Because we misunderstood that.
And the 3,000 people who were mailed.
Well, the population is the citizens. We were just, that was the sample was the 3,000, but originally, but you can only use the sample was the only ones that were the ones that responded.
Oh, but the answer was the citizens of Mumbai, all of the citizens.
Yeah, but that would be the population. And then you take a sample of the population, and the sample was generated by the 3,000 that we only got the 1,049 back. All right.
All right.
See, this is where if we had a third person.
16.
Huh?
I said, sorry about 15 and 16.
Hey, I didn't understand it well enough to be able to answer it properly, so it's no worries. Now we both understand it better.
I don't know if I still understand it right, but I guess. Okay.
Well, now we know what we need to do. We need to make sure you study more on that stuff. Okay, well, I will take this link and post it to our group. I think I'll figure out how to do that.
Okay.
I think that's this here. Okay, and I'll post it.
Okay.
I will see you Thursday at 9 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And
okay.
I will send an email to our instructor. I can't remember her name because I have 4 instructors and I can't remember which one's which class right now.
Yeah, Cook.
Cook. Okay, this is Sister Cook, and let her know that we apparently only have the 2 of us in our group.
Okay. Thank you for doing that.
You bet. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.